What is up, everybody? Happy afternoon. Welcome to At the Close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin. Man, does it just feel just really like blah today? I mean, where I am in Detroit, the weather is blah. It's raining. It's cloudy. The market is up, but it's not exciting. And I guess I should be okay with that, right? I should be okay with that because boring is good, but in terms of content, boring is bad, right? So there's no, I got to say, my list of topics to talk about right now with Joel for the last half hour here is disturbingly small. So I'm going to lean on the chat a little bit to help me out with some ideas because it just feels like nobody wants to make a move ahead of tomorrow's Fed meeting. That's my take. Let's get Joel's take on At the Close. Starting right now. Smash that like. Here we go. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, open, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How you doing, Spencer?
I'm okay. I'm fine. I mean, do you agree with my sentiment that things are just boring out there?
Squirrely. It's a squirrely market.
What does that mean exactly, Joel? You keep saying that
like
word.
Squirrely. You know, like squirrels. They dart across the road, right? And then they look like they're gonna get hit, and then you don't hear them crunch under your tires. Then they come out the other side, and then you go a little bit farther down the road, and another squirrel does the same thing, and then you smash that squirrel. It's kind of that's what it is. I mean, if you're a chop trader, you're a range trader, you're back and forth, back and forth. This is your kind of day. But if you're looking for sustainable trends, I mean, look at the S&Ps here.
Where? I can't see them.
I didn't share.
No.
It's fun to share.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up here. Let me go to it. Instead of looking at me, you want to see some charts. And we've looked good a couple times. We've looked bad a couple times. Knocked on the door 40 off the open. We kind of came near the. We didn't get near that pre-market low. Missed the pre-market low by $10. Had a nice rally. Looked like we were knocking on the door 4,200. And then they broke it a couple times, back down to unchanged, and then just made another rally. And now we're just chopping daisical here in the 4170 area, moving to 4 or 5 point clips. I think that, and this is just a thought, people are kind of getting nervous that Jerry is gonna, they're gonna do the half, and then I think they're worried that he's going to say something like, we see supply chains easing and we see pricing pressure coming down, So I don't know if he has a look at the CPI number coming up during the month, but I just, we came down to the bottom of the range for the year, and people that didn't cover on that are like, man, what if he says so? That's what I'm thinking. Also, historically, the market has been up on days ahead of Fed meetings. So if you're looking for a historical perspective, but that's just conjecture. What's actually going to happen tomorrow, I don't know. But it's kind of the way the market feels like that to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much know. I mean, we know what they're going to do, right?
You're going to do a half.
They're going to do half, and then he's going to. Maybe you're right, Joel. Maybe he does say something like, "Oh yeah, we're seeing the pressures are abating and things are getting better," and that would mean what? That would mean that the market would go higher
Market would rip.
because they would assume that what he means by that is that we're probably not going to keep raising rates too far beyond where we're at right now.
Or that the current rate of current path that they have for the right, like they're not going to have to pull the 3/4 out.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Is all this just a waste of time and energy? Like, aren't they just raising rates so that they can lower rates, Joel?
Eventually,
because you can't lower rates when they're at zero. You got to raise them up first. So they're going to raise them now, And then what? Maybe like what, a year or two that they're going to lower them again, right?
Yep. Let me run down the other
Okay.
commodities
Yeah.
here. Crude's down 234, but that's not really affecting oil stocks. Gold up 250, 1866, trying to find support here. Silver, high ho silver, that's down a couple pennies, 2256. Bitcoin futures, they're down a G. They broke that 38 too, folks.
Darn it.
37.4. I'm a little worried here, a little worried about Bitcoin. Don't know if we're crashing down to this low here, but you did lose support. Ethereum futures, they're in the red too by $75.50 at 27.65 and a half. That's kind of still holding on by support by the hair of its chinny chin chin.
All right. Well, as far as like stocks that are doing interesting things today, like I said, there's really not much, but Mattel jumped out to me, Joel, because does someone know something? Remember Mattel, and you actually mentioned it. Mattel, either they or somebody close to them leaked it to the financial media that Mattel is shopping themselves around or talking to private equity firms. This was from last week. It was actually a week ago today. It was last Tuesday that the WSJ reported that Mattel has had conversations with several buyout firms. Now today, fast forward a week later, Joel, and Mattel is breaking out to a 5-year high, which
Holy
you can't
mackerel.
say that about hardly anybody right now.
Yeah, it's been boom, boom. I mean, it's a massive underperformer. I mean, you had all this congestion here at like 25 to 25 and a half, right? And they took it down. And then, the seller, the group that wanted to get done here, they said, you know what? I just want to get done at 25. So they kept the lid on at 25 last week. And then today, strong open, boom, you cut through the 25. It didn't have any problems with these highs. It looks like we're going to close above it too. So that's a good move for Natal. I mean, on the monthlies, I mean, it still looks like 26. I
Mm.
wouldn't, I mean, this is Mattel here, I mean, this is not, it's not a growth tech stock or meme. Is it a meme stock? I guess it could be a meme stock.
Mattel? Certainly not. Certainly not.
So I guess it's like if it's one of these breakouts where if I'm buying 26, I'm selling 25.75. I'm not gonna buy a breakout here, buy out thing, and then say, oh well, I'm gonna lean on yesterday's low. So that's
yeah,
so look at Mattel, toys. I mean, kids still playing with toys. Let's see
yeah.
here. Has let's
Well,
see what
and Hasbro has also got some activists that are chirping around, trying to get them to spin
just
off.
go. These are just such nowhere stocks.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. The other interesting area today is obviously energy, because as Joel mentioned, the oil futures market is down, but oil stocks are all higher. Stocks like Devon Energy, DVN, up almost 10% today. Fang, right? Diamondback Energy, up almost 7% today. Marathon, Exxon, Chevron, Hess, they're all the whole sector is trading higher. It's actually your best performing sector by a country mile today. There is no other sector in the S&P that is up more than 0.5%, and energy is up over 2.5% today.
Yes, and now that's with crude down 246. This is just like nothing's making sense today. These stocks bid beat up. It just caught a strong bid. I would with this Diamondback Energy. I would pay pretty close attention here to well, you have a current high at 136.79. You had another high here at 137.47. So let's just call it 137 there. 1 day wonders getting back half of this move, over half of this move. So, a retreat and they just put their money to work today.
Yeah.
Not a clean chart by any stretch of imagination. I see Valero. That it's not a all time high, but man, it's sure getting up there. Just moving money around after that sell off. We're starting to lose some steam here now. We are now trading in the
A
lower
little
40.
bit. Just a little bit. We've still got some steam. Little,
I don't know. I mean, it's couldn't hold
right.
that 4180 area, and sellers are coming in.
What we can also do is go over a lot of the earnings that we didn't get the chance to discuss this morning. Stocks like Estee Lauder, right? EL, which is actually having a pretty rough go of it today. Um, it, it's down 5.6%, and that might not seem like a lot, but that is the fourth worst of any stock in the S&P today. So it is lagging almost everybody, at least in the large cap index.
Yeah, they didn't like the air. I was actually a little bit of a buy. Let's go to the pre-market chart. I believe we did get a monthly level here. It's just one of those situations where, okay, they pressed it in the pre-market, and they couldn't get into the pre-market low. So everyone that was buying on weakness ended up having to buy on strength in their rally. Believe it if you could say a stock that's up that much. Don't think we got anywhere near the bottom of yesterday. Oh, we got pretty close to the bottom of the range from yesterday. I only missed it by a buck 36. So almost a gap fill there for Estee Lauder. Did I have a monthly? Was there a monthly low in here? There was a monthly low, 231.97. So if you could have taken, you could have gotten that off the open. It's one of those, you're just throwing, but darts. If you go on that
Yeah.
month, you got to hope don't take out the pre-market low. It didn't, and now it's just really digesting here, 245 to 250. S&Ps, there we are. We're in the 4150 handle as we speak. Only up
Um,
6. So it looks like we're going back to unchanged. Holy macro. Yeah, Western Digital, we poo-pooed that move. That was the pre-market prep stock
yeah.
of the day. Um, I mean, they get their way. You buy $1 billion worth of stock here. You announce to the board that you're taking an activist stake, and boom, it goes. So, one day wonder. Streets following the lead. They think it's worth $100. Kind of got that. Kind of got that one wrong. I don't know if we got it wrong. We just wasn't sure how much the rally would continue. We're going back to unch here, Spencer. We've just
Oy vey.
overhung.
Even when you win, you lose. It feels like it was all set to be just a nice, quiet green day. Right, you had almost every sector in the green. We still have almost every sector in the green, but
Danger,
but the,
danger,
but the
danger.
Nasdaq just went red. The Q just went red. The Russell is precarious. The SPY is even more precarious. The Dow is in the red. So communication services want to go red. You can see it right now. Uh, I mean, what?
What's
Who else?
going on with I haven't looked at what's going on with these banks. I mean,
Healthcare wants to go red. It's heading towards it. What's going on with the banks? The banks are okay, Joel. Banks are having a good day.
yep, banks are having a good day. Finally, Bank of America wakes up here a little bit. Got it back up to 37. Wow, this thing got all the way to 37.63 today. Boom, 37.54 was another high. Just probably a little bit oversold in a nice rally, but that's the best day this thing has had since here. You did get a little bit of continuation, but we'll see what the Fed has to say. I mean, these banks they've just gone nowhere but down. JP Morgan started out with its last earnings report, had the gap lower, never recovered, and then they didn't like it after its last earnings report.
No.
So
Just as a heads up, earnings calendar for tonight still chock full. You can see it up on the screen. AMD is the big one. Airbnb, the other big one. We're going to be streaming both those calls right here on our YouTube channel. Also waiting for Starbucks, Lyft, Akamai, Match Group, AIG, Prudential, Caesars. Tomorrow morning has names like Marriott and Moderna and I don't know, CVS, I suppose. Not that interesting. But we are in the thick of earnings season, so keep an eye on that. And hey, we didn't talk about Paramount this morning, did we? I wanted to. I don't think we got around to it, Joel. PARA.
okay,
Did we talk about that? Because
no sir.
Paramount added 6 million. Was it 6 million? I think it was 6 million subscribers last month. to Paramount Plus, which obviously pales in comparison. They are a fraction of the size of a Netflix, but the smaller, newer streaming services have all thus far reported that they've gained subscribers last quarter. So it's not as much maybe an industry-wide slowdown as it is a Netflix-specific slowdown as it relates to streaming specifically.
What this I'm trying to think. Well, what used to be this is the old Viacom, right?
That was the old Viacom. That's correct.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, this is when I got wanged, right? This is when they sold him out of his position.
Yeah, that
Um,
it's still recovering from that. I
yeah, it
mean,
hasn't recovered.
oh,
Boom. I mean, it found support under 28. You found support under 28 3 4 days in a row. Those buyers were back out there today. We're just waiting to the 27 handle. So nice day off that. Hmm. I don't know. I think he maybe above 30. You would, you could say, hey, we're out of the woods here. You got the one daily high here. I don't know. That's 30.73, maybe 31. Maybe see if you get up to 31. Get above and hold 31. That'd be good for this stock. If not, they're still probably just muddled in this maybe 28 to 31 trading range. This is a quick 10-point move back up in the S&Ps. Couldn't quite get to
really,
unchanged, and the buy here.
yeah,
13 minutes remaining in this choppiest session of the year. I'm gonna have to go take some anti-nausea pills after this session.
yeah. If you go back to the SPY or the SPOOs or whatever, and really just zoom in on that 5 minute or that 15 minute chart, it just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to
That's
no
the
end.
15-minute up there, upper left. Selling rips and buying dips, and get to do it all in the exact same session.
Yeah, and for those keeping score at home, I mentioned this stat yesterday. Teledoc now on a 4-day winning streak. Congrats! Hey, this is all Kathy, right? Joel, Kathy bought the stock last Thursday
I wouldn't say
when
it's all
when
Kathy.
when it was down 50% in one day, right? She bought the stock on Thursday. She's been doing okay on her most recent buy.
Well, on her most recent
Not the
buys,
buy, not the buys before that. I mean, but the
I'd like
one
to see I don't know what her average cost is, but
I don't know if we can see that. I don't know if that
yeah,
information is
I mean, she's been buying this thing forever. So
yeah, she's been buying it for the 2, 3, 4 years.
I don't even, you know what? It could probably still be in triple digits, unless she just bought a boatload. I don't know what her
I
average
don't know.
position is, but gap fill possibility. I think if you did scoop this up with Kathy, you've had 4 good days. You backed off the 39.88 high, trading at 38.23. So that is a $1.60, $1.70 pullback. That would be a little bit concerning if you want to, if you're doing this for a swing trade, you pick this up on the cheap. You don't necessarily have to take out that 40 tomorrow and keep on going, but you sure would like to see it hold that 36.50. Like move up from the low after 4 good days and then put a little shelf in, right? And
Mhm.
then,
Mhm.
build that support and another leg up. I'd be concerned if you got a couple more tops in the upper 39 handle and then didn't get follow through into the 40s.
What else did we not get a chance to discuss this morning? We did not get a chance to discuss Molson Coors tap. What the heck happened to that thing today? Hold on a second. I'm just looking at that chart for the first time. What was that? That was
Yeah,
all right. The earnings were out in the pre-market, right? And it was okay. EPS beat, sales beat. What the heck happened at
I
was it
don't know, like
11?
11:30.
Holy moly! I'm just seeing this for the first time. Let me check.
Hmm.
Check PRs.
It was on the 11:45 bar.
I, I got nothing. Oh, you know why? I do know why. The conference call, Joel. The conference call didn't start till the middle of the day. That's what it was.
Wow. Well, they didn't like what they said on the conference call. If you're a gap trader and you were thinking, "Wow, this came down hard. If it fills this gap at 55.80, I'm going to be pretty happy." And it did. It went to 56.45 and then completely came unraveled.
Yeah.
I mean, higher high, lower low. Let this one shake out for a few days, but important to hold this 52. That's a current low. I'll just call this whole 52 area. 51.80 is your low here. Today's low, 52.05. So let's call it 52. Holds there. Maybe turn its little arrow back up, but under 52, you can see 51 and 50 are your next support levels.
All right. What's on the chat's radar? Quatrus is asking about FLWS 1-800 Flowers. I know they had earnings last week. I haven't looked at the stock since then. Oh my gosh. It got down to $8 last week. It's now back up to 11, but that thing was like 30, $40.
Yeah,
Not
one day wonder there. Well, got hit on earnings. We're to see. I'd like to see where it opened on this day. On the earnings day, 918 open, 913 low. So if you were just going blind faith off the open, you got a nice trade off there. Once again, this kind of reminds me of the Teledoc chart. Just like, is this a dead cat bounce, or are we going to truly turn it around? 11:37 current high for the session. 11:10, not huge volume. You had big volume on the big down day, and then it tapered off the last two sessions. It's even tapering off more. So I don't know if you like to see a little bit of a gap fill here, you want to see it maybe hold 11 for a couple days, not necessarily crashed. Well, 1050. The excuse me, 1051 was the low for today. So once again, kind of looking like the Teledoc chart to me. You just want to see, follow through today's high. Spoos back in the 4170 handle. That was a tidy 15-point rally in the blink of an eye.
Uh, is there a Mother's Day trade? No, probably not. That's a bit of a stretch for
Mother's Day trade.
for 1-800 Flowers. Although Mother's Day coming up this weekend, everyone, as a reminder. Questions from the chat, tickers from the chat. Jess 10X wants thoughts on Uber. Uber reports tomorrow after the
Uber.
close. We'll probably do whatever Lyft does today. Uber will probably do as well tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you got your must hold support in Uber. 28.28 was your low here. Boom, another low 28.55. So let's call it 28.30, 28.40. Must hold support. That is also 28.28, the low of the move, or at least of this move. So yeah, you're finding support down here, just kind of hanging out a little bit too long. So lean on that on the upside. Not sure how the reopening, if this is gonna benefit from that. What am I seeing? Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, 30. You got 34. There's a couple highs in the upper 32 handle. I don't know the way it's getting hit. You think on a pop you're going to see some sellers. And actually thinking about that, how'd car end up today? Yeah, it does. There, it gave back a lot. Yeah, look, it got nowhere near the pre-market high, and then even the opening of the regular session, you had someone coming in and saying, "Cha-ching," ringing the register. So that's kind of what I'm theorizing for Uber if they have the beat, but we'll see what they come up with. Beat and raise guidance. I don't know about that. Don't know how higher fuel costs are affecting, the profitability of the firm, but a
I
lot of
I I
unknowns.
think also like demand has come way down from these rental car agencies in terms of buying cars. Like, remember how they were like they couldn't find enough cars, right, Joel? For because they all sold off their cars at the onset of the pandemic, and then they needed them back, right? Because people started going places and they couldn't find enough cars. I think that demand has sort of come off a little bit. Um, who was in the chat? BNZ asking about Tupperware. Joe,
Tupperware.
I'll never forget that Tupperware summer 2020. That was like the stock to own.
Who was it? Was that guy? Is that guy still in the chat? He walked it up there. Well,
Yeah, I remember that. I don't
who
remember
was
who it
that
was.
guy?
I
He kept
remember
on
who.
asking about every day, and I'm like, man, you better sell. Then it'd go
No,
up another buck.
no,
I'm like, what do you think now? I'm like, oh, you better sell.
Summer 2020. That was the stock to own. TUP.
Well, it made sense because no one was going out to eat. They're all cooking
Yeah,
at home during the
yeah,
pandemic. And what are you
yeah,
going to put? Yeah, though Lisa likes to put stuff in glass.
yeah.
A lot of people were putting it in Tupperware. Um, hmm, this is kind of, you gave back more than half of that move, right? From the COVID low. Buck 26. Huh. This is interesting. It went from a buck 26, and then you just hit monthly resistance here. Boy, they gave you forever to get out. I don't know. I don't know if people are stacking up on the Tupperware as much. You're off the low of the move, 1328. If somehow you get a pop here, a nice pop, 25, I don't see that. I mean, even the monthly candles are small on this one. So I'd hate to say it, but you might need another like pandemic to get to get this
Right,
thing kick-started
right,
again.
right.
It's giving back more than half of the move, right? Because it went from a buck 26 to nearly 40. So 40, 20. So I don't know. Let me give you a short. Like if you get a big pop 2110, that was your April high. Sure, a lot of people would like to see that in Tupperware.
Yeah, I don't remember who. Yeah, we had that guy in the chat. I don't remember who it was now, but every day
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
TUP. Anyway, okay, quick, a couple quick ones here. CTRA Cortera oil and gas play. So it's up today because the whole darn sector is up today.
CTRA
Yeah.
might be my first time ever looking at this stock. New all-time high, new all-time closing high. So can't give you too much on this. Do I want to see volume? Ooh, nice volume for the second day in a row. You had good volume on the move up from 20. It wasn't much of a move up. Uh, Man, oh man, just move your stop up in this one. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry. Put it under here. If they come down and nick you at 29.70, 29.75, then they take you out. But this has got old Mo on its side here and pressing up against the highs of the session. If you're worried about, some profit taking on this or whatever, see if it consolidates, volume comes off. But you got buyers piling in today, 10 million yesterday, and you're going to probably be close to 14 million shares for Coterra Energy.
Last one here, Joel. Smaller companies, smaller market cap. It's a maritime play, shipping play. CTRM.
Going with the
CTRM. Yeah.
CTRM.
Castor Maritime. It's a dry bulk cargo company.
Boy, oh boy, it's a $2. So the
Yeah.
most you can lose here is $2.12 if you buy it here. A little bit interesting because you're pressing up against this high, 210, 212. Not really sticking out on volume. I don't know. I mean, 220, 240. You can see those daily levels. I don't know if you need some news. Um, I don't, it's tough. Good support at 180. And if you get a blast up to 240, that's been holding in. And boy,
Yeah.
you guys
Well,
making a big deal out of my shirt, man. It's not a Tiger shirt. It's a Michigan shirt. I think I got from my birthday or something. It is kind of nice. Sometimes.
it creates a trippy effect with the camera, but not when
Oh,
the.
it does.
Hey, look at that. We're done. Thank goodness.
Shing, ding, 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 ding. Okay.
All right. That's a
We're
wrap.
up. We're up on the day. Call 4170. I hope you guys survive this chop, and I don't know. Probably expect more of the same tomorrow.
That's
Ahead of
exactly
the
it.
Big Fed announcement.
We'll see you then, Joel.
I'm out.
All right. Before we wrap, programming for the rest of the day, going to go over to Cannabis Insider right now. They're talking to PAX. If you guys know anything about vapes, you know about PAX. It's the biggest brand in vaping. And then at 4:30, Money Mitch is talking to our old friend Mark Yusko, one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls on the street, Morgan Creek Capital. He'll be on with Mitch in about a half hour. Don't forget, we're streaming the AMD and the Airbnb earnings calls right here tonight. AMD is at 5, Airbnb is at 5:30. Catch you guys over there. Have a great rest of your day. Smash the like, and we'll see you tomorrow.